This is ABC15 Mornings.
Rolling back safety protocols.
This is not the time to relax restrictions.
More states begin to open up.
I remain deeply concerned about a potential shift in the trajectory of the pandemic.
The health community worried about another surge.
It took weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to finally get a check.
The Let Joe Know team uncovering more problems in the struggle to get unemployment benefits.
We are not, well rested, and just honestly well rested, then everything suffers. It is a domino effect.
Women helping women to get back in the workforce.
We always recommend just kind of having some sort of awareness of how vulnerable your phone number may be already.
How to fight against robocalls and spam texts.
Aiden on the loose ball, gets it up ahead. Booker lays it in.
And it's always fun to beat LA. The Suns take down the Lakers and move up in the standings.
I mean, that's when you know it's for real, right? I mean, it is a great time to be a sports fan here in Phoenix, Arizona, and it is a great day to look ahead to. Thank you for starting part of your day with us. Kaylee O'Kelly here in studio. Our Nick Saletti is social distancing from the newsroom.
Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Of course, a lot of news to get to today, but first we got to talk about that most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Iris Emercio standing by right now. She's social distancing from home on this hump day with a quick preview. Hey, Iris.
And there's a lot going on when we talk about our weather today, that's for sure. Here's what you can expect. First, it's going to be a windy afternoon and evening, and those winds, they're increasing our fire danger across the valley and across much of the state, too. And believe it or not, we also have rain and snow chances coming in behind those winds as the storm system moves in tonight. That's the same one that's actually prompting the winds out ahead of its arrival. Now, this morning, we've got some localized breezes. You can see that camera on South Mountain moving just a little bit here from this view. Our temperatures in the 40s to 50s. I did see a few neighborhoods dip down into the 30s for a little bit. It's a little chilly here as you start the day, but 50 degrees at Sky Harbor, 45 in Mesa, and 45 in Avondale. Here's how that hour-by-hour forecast shapes up. We'll be into the 70s by 11 a.m. and then into the mid-70s by lunchtime. Our high today, 81 degrees, so warmer. And then you see those rain chances. They don't kick in until late, but again, that's why those dry conditions and those winds will be a big fire factor for us this afternoon. I'll break down the new alerts in place for today in just minutes. For now, though, I want to send it over to Megan Thompson, who's in for Chelsea Davis and has been watching what's been another busy morning on those roads.
It sure has, Iris, and we're starting early, unfortunately, with the Loop 303, a crash in the overnight hours on the northbound lanes of the 303 near the I-17. This is a live look from our ADOT cameras. You can see traffic is still getting by to the left lanes, but you see many emergency vehicles off to the right, those flashing lights as they're investigating a deadly crash. A passenger in a vehicle, unfortunately, has died, so that investigation could take more time. And as we look at the I-17 near Bumblebee, we also have a crash up there. And as I move down the I-17 back to that area near the 303 and the 17, we have two crashes as well. So through Anthem and through Black Canyon City, the I-17 struggling a little bit this morning. It doesn't look like it's impacting your travel times too much, but I'll let you know if that changes as that morning rush continues. I want to zoom in to the 10 and the 17. We are seeing a bit of slowing in that area, pretty normal for this time of the morning, but there are your drive times and how fast you'll be traveling in those areas.
All right, Megan, thank you. Happening today, another state-run vaccine site. It will open, and this one is going to be in the Southeast Valley. Vaccine appointments do get underway in about an hour. This is Chandler Gilbert Community College. It's a live look for you here, and it will initially operate from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., but the state is hoping to open 24/7 once more supply comes in. This location, by the way, was previously run by Maricopa County Health Department.
President Joe Biden says the country will have enough vaccines for every adult by the end of May. The White House brokering a partnership to ramp up production.
Two of the largest healthcare and pharmaceutical companies in the world that are usually competitors are working together on the vaccine. Johnson & Johnson and Merck will work together to expand the production of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine.
The recently approved single-shot vaccine is being administered across the country. The president also announcing that under the federal pharmacy program, teachers, staff, and child care workers will be prioritized for vaccinations.
Well, starting tomorrow, another group of people right here in Arizona, 55 years of age and older, will start to get vaccinated. And as more doses are delivered, everyone does need to be reminded safety measures do remain in place. Our Mark Thompson joining us right now, and some states are lifting restrictions altogether, but not us.
Yes, some states are already doing that. Kaylee, good morning to you. In fact, the governors of Texas and Mississippi say that it's time to reopen 100%. They say businesses there can go back to normal and no more mask mandate in place. However, CDC officials are saying not so fast, and they want those states to reconsider.
I remain deeply concerned about a potential shift in the trajectory of the pandemic.
And she is imploring Americans to follow guidelines and remember that COVID is not over yet, with a warning about a potential fourth wave if restrictions are lifted too abruptly. Arizona has never had a statewide mask mandate. Governor Ducey instead leaving the decision up to local jurisdictions. Currently, Pima and Maricopa counties still have countywide mask orders in place.
I think it's way too early to reverse masking mandates at this point. We're still have upwards of 70% of the population of Arizona that still needs to be vaccinated. So we're making great progress, but until we have a much higher percentage of folks vaccinated, I think it would be very premature.
And Dr. Stephanie Jackson with Honor Health says that states need to hold off until the summer, she believes, as more people get vaccinated. However, they are seeing some progress when it comes to hospitalizations. Hospitals right now down from 500 COVID patients to now just under 100 patients. So again, progress there, but health officials say we are not out of the woods yet. Reporting live this morning, Mark Thompson, ABC15, Arizona. Kaylee, back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you for that. To fight the virus, healthcare experts are saying testing is vital. So ASU is partnering with the state health department to offer more coronavirus resources to staff at K through 12 schools. This is across the state. It's a new program, and it includes COVID testing, along with professional training and other resources. The goal is to help schools continue running safely through the pandemic. And the AIA will allow athletes to remove their masks during sporting events. It applies to the upcoming spring sports and winter playoffs. Students will be required to wear a mask if they are not actively competing, along with coaches, officials, and those spectating.
I just tell my wife, all signs just kind of kept pointing back down here to Arizona. And in my short time here on the ground, I can tell you that I'm absolutely pleased and couldn't be happier with my decision.
J.J. Watt making it official, signing his contract with the Arizona Cardinals and holding an introductory press conference.
And Watt says the Cards went all out to recruit him, to show him the love, the owner, the coaches, players, even non-football people. Some sending him pictures of the Valley. Come on out to paradise, my friend, right? The defensive end is going to continue wearing number 99. There were a lot of questions about that the past couple of days. Getting the blessing from Marshall Goldberg's daughter to unretire that number.
I want to make sure that people know the name and are aware of Marshall Goldberg and everything that he did, including his time in the Navy in the middle of his NFL career. So I told her that I would do everything in my power to honor him and to make him proud and make his legacy proud.
Now, Watt is known, of course, for his charitable work, and he says his foundation is already getting involved in Arizona, donating to 8 schools so far. Bring on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. That's who the Suns play tomorrow after beating the Lakers. The Suns getting a double-digit victory over the defending NBA champs.
Our team now ranks second in the Western Conference and is looking like a playoff team, too. Look at them go. Meantime, Devin Booker and Chris Paul will play this coming weekend in the All-Star game. Up next here on ABC15 Mornings, making some simple lifestyle changes in our bulletin board this morning. 5 simple ways to prevent or even help heartburn.
And they're annoying and endless. Americans could see upwards of 70 billion spam calls this year alone. Ahead, how to silence the scammers. It's 11 past the hour today. We're going to hear from the Defense Department as the Senate continues hearings into the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The former chief of Capitol Police and former sergeant at arms blamed the Defense Department for not bringing the National Guard in fast enough. But during last week's hearing, they seemed uncertain about the process of requesting that help. And Tuesday, the FBI director pushed back on the claims that the agency didn't pass along key intelligence.
That information was quickly disseminated and communicated with our partners, including the U.S. Capitol Police, including Metro PD, in not 1, not 2, but 3 different ways.
The FBI has arrested more than 270 suspects involved in this attack. President Joe Biden needs a new nominee to lead the Office of Budget and Management. Neera Tanden is withdrawing her name from consideration, saying she did not want to become a distraction due to past tweets. She recently deleted over 1,000 tweets about politicians. The White House says she will still have a role in the administration.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
Hi there, I'm Megan Thompson, tracking your Wednesday morning drive. And the I-17 getting hit hard this morning. I want to walk you through 3 different crashes on the I-17 through Black Canyon City near Bumblebee Road is that first one. And then the next one is through Anthem. And then this one down here near the Loop 303 and the I-17. That's the one we've been tracking with a deadly crash that they are investigating. That one is off right. We also just got word of another crash more closer into the valley on the I-10 eastbound near 32nd Street. The right lane is blocked for this investigation right now, so we're keeping tabs on that one. Not a whole lot of slowing in that area, so that's the good news for you at this hour. Let's take a look at some of the other desert drive times if you're traveling throughout the valley on the Loop 202 eastbound from the mini stack to the US 60. You're in the green there, 26 minutes. Loop 101 eastbound from the I-17 to State Route 51. It'll just take you 8 minutes, also in the green. The Loop 303 westbound from I-17 to the I-10, 30 minutes. You are in the green. So we're tracking about 3 to 4 crashes on your roadways right now. I'll keep you posted if more pop up and, of course, when those ones clear and your roadways reopen. Let's check in with Iris Hermosillo with a look at that most accurate forecast.
Hey there, Megan. Well, it's 6:14 and we've got some big changes on the way. Today's going to be warmer first, but it's also going to be windy and dry ahead of a storm system that's moving in tonight. And those winds and the dry conditions prompting fire alerts across much of our state. Then tomorrow, about 10 degrees cooler once this storm system moves through. There's also a chance for rain, mainly overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Rain chances look pretty low for the Phoenix area and rainfall amounts look really light, but the potential is there. So we'll talk about that. But it's all happening, these changes, due to a storm system that's still well off the California coast, and well off to our west. You see it here on our water vapor imagery. It's more than 400 miles west of our state's border, but we're going to start to feel the impacts from it even before it moves in. As I mentioned, it'll move in tonight, but today during the day, those winds getting much stronger, and because of that, we've got wind advisories in place across our state. Those wind advisories mainly in western Arizona, but they also include parts of the Phoenix metro area. If you live in Buckeye, if you live in Goodyear, Wickenburg, Surprise, Whitman, Lake Pleasant, areas along the north foothills in the valley, those areas officially under those wind advisories from 11 a.m. today to 6 p.m. today. Those areas experiencing gusts as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour. And that really will be the case across the Phoenix area. It's just those areas that are under that wind advisory, those winds will be just a little bit stronger than, say, maybe the Far East Valley. But you can see, regardless, with stronger winds anticipated, sustained winds at about 20 to 30 miles an hour, and the very dry conditions we've got in place, we've got fire weather warnings or red flag warnings in place across most of the Phoenix metro area, Yavapai County, areas in western and in southern Arizona too. So again, much of the Phoenix metro area is under that fire weather warning. That also in effect from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. So look at these winds. They're starting out pretty light this morning, but then by midday they start to pick up. We get breezy to windy across the state by that point, but then windy here through the afternoon and evening with sustained winds between 20 to 30 miles an hour in central Arizona, including here in the valley and across western Arizona as well. So wind gusts peaking near 45 miles an hour in the valley and areas to our west. Windy conditions this afternoon and warm weather, but again also dry weather with that heightened fire risk. Our temperature right now, as you step outside, it's 50 degrees. Winds light at this point, out of the east rather, at about 6 miles an hour. But look at how they climb by this afternoon. Again, sustained between 20 and 30 miles an hour, just as our temperature is peaking at around 81 degrees this afternoon. It'll be warm in Phoenix today. Highs up north also a little warmer, 50s and 60s across northern Arizona. Then about a 10-degree temperature drop tomorrow, but will quickly rebound into the low 80s Friday and through the weekend. We'll talk more about that rain and snow potential in the next half hour.
All right, Iris, thank you very much. Well, we highlighted the more than 14,000 Arizona kids living in foster care. That was last month. And among the many concerns for these kids, it's what happens when they age out of the system. And now we've got an answer. A relatively new program here in Phoenix is providing some low-cost housing, counselors, and mentors to keep these kids on a positive path.
I get into this like mindset that it's like, oh, this is too much. I'm not going to like be able to do it. So it's hard. So it's definitely something that I'm glad I'm in a place that I can work on it.
It's just so great that some support is available here. If you want to get involved, we have put a link to more information for you with this story. It's up now at abc15.com. Well, do you know of a Valley Youth program that makes a big impact, but maybe just doesn't have the supplies or resources they need? Maybe it's an after-school program or a youth group. You can do something about this by taking action and going to abc15.com/kidsgoplaces and nominate them for a chance to win $500.
Anyone who's experienced heartburn before knows how frustrating it can be when it's keeping you up at night. The burning in your chest, the bitter acidic taste, the other symptoms like nausea, chest pain, difficulty swallowing, chronic cough, and more. So, on our bulletin board today, we're sharing tips to prevent heartburn. Medical experts say to avoid foods that trigger heartburn, like onions, citrus or tomato products, spicy grub, alcohol, coffee, or other caffeinated or carbonated drinks, fried or fatty foods, peppermint, chocolate, and large meals in general. Wait about 3 hours after a meal before you lie down so your body has time to digest, and don't drink water right before bed. Try using a wedge pillow. Gravity helps here because the position helps keep acid in the stomach. Remember, stress can cause heartburn too, so you can try antacids or proton pump inhibitors, but if you want to skip medications and go a natural route, here's an adult dose. Try sipping on a 4-ounce glass of water mixed with a ½ teaspoon of dissolved baking soda. Another option, almond milk has an alkaline composition to neutralize acid, so it might relieve your reflux. If you've experienced heartburn for a while and have other symptoms like chest pain into your arms or around your jaw, frequent nausea, or unintended weight loss, talk to your doctor. Long-term heartburn can create complications to your esophagus, so give these bulletin board tips a try.
Chelsea, thank you. Dr. Oz to the rescue. The celebrity TV doctor had just flown into Newark Airport Monday night when a man in his 60s collapsed at the baggage claim.
It had to be terrifying for everyone, including this man's family, right? Dr. Oz, though, rushing in, helping to perform CPR, and after a couple of minutes, the man started breathing on his own.
I was feeling for a pulse, and then I look up, and Dr. Oz was basically pumping on his chest.
How did you know it was Dr. Oz?
Well, at first, I didn't recognize him.
Well, that's a Port Authority police officer describing what happened. Coming up on Good Morning America, hear from Dr. Oz himself in an exclusive interview.
Pressing for answers. Coming up, the Let You Know team working to find out if more security measures are actually leading to more problems for unemployed Arizonans.
Last summer, when we first started talking about vaccines, we were going to be happy with 50%. So all of these vaccines are safe and effective.
The ongoing effort to vaccinate and educate. New this morning, the extensive ad campaign to ease anxiety.
Well, for the past several months, the Let You Know team has been showcasing just how long some of you have been forced to wait for unemployment benefits. Now, in most cases, state leaders are saying that fraud is to blame for the holdup. But all new for you this morning from our Rebound Arizona team, we take a closer look at the security measures that have been added and the problems that they're causing.
I mean, that's insane. And I was persistent.
In the past few months, Christy says she's made countless phone calls and sent numerous emails. They've gotten her nowhere.
We get form letters back. Thank you for contacting our office. Here's the number of the DES unemployment system.
After losing her job as a choir director during the pandemic, she applied for pandemic unemployment assistance.
I applied, and it took weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to finally get a check.
She thought she was set until payments stopped in November. Christy's one of thousands of Arizonans who had to prove they were who they said they were because of countless fraud claims. Arizonans getting debit cards from DES they never applied for, often with thousands of dollars. When people began reporting those fraud claims to DES and our stories aired, DES started changing how they verified claims, pausing many of them and forcing people to start the online process again.
If you want to reestablish your claim, you need to call and talk to a person. So why try to call and you can't get through and you get cut off?
Most recently, DES added the ID.me system. It's supposed to simplify how people securely prove and share their identity online. Christy says it's just complicated things.
When we got to the, partway through the screens, she said, I don't understand this. I don't see why you're not able to get in.
It's a problem that seems to have started as soon as it was implemented and something DES can't appear to solve. This week we asked DES again about the massive delays. Are there errors in the ID.me system? How many claims are still awaiting approval? How far back do they go? DES did not respond by our deadline. We're continuing to press the state for answers. Why are so many people still having so many problems? If you could prove you qualify and are still having unemployment issues, go to abc15.com/letjoeknow and tell me about it there. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
Joe, thank you. New this morning, robocalls are coming back with a vengeance this year. Experts estimate Americans will get about 70 billion spam calls in 2021. And we've even seen more spam texts than calls. That's because sending spam texts is cheap and people may be more likely to open them than answer a scam phone call. One way you can cut down on these is by making sure your phone number isn't available online. A time to call for action only on ABC 15 Mornings. Women leading by example to help the next generation.
Well, 3 different vaccines are now being distributed across the country, but that doesn't mean everyone's ready to take them. Coming up, the new education effort underway to reach those who have doubts about rolling up their sleeve.